A couple of years ago, I made a video called Sequel, How to Know If Your Hairline is Receding. And in fact, a lot of you actually subscribed to my channel after watching that particular video. A few minutes ago, someone left a comment on that video as I talked about all the signs of knowing if you might be losing your hair. Someone commented, quote, "I've already got all of those signs at age 18. God save me." So what I want to discuss in this video, can God save you from your hair loss? Can God save you from your hair loss is the question here. Here's my answer. My answer is, that's the wrong question. The question is, can God allow you to be at peace and happy in life despite going bald? And the answer is obviously yes. There are plenty of men who are bald and are fulfilled and happy. Just like there are plenty of men who have hair and are not fulfilled and happy. Here's what it reminds me of. Speaking of God, in the New Testament of the Bible, there's a part where the Apostle Paul talks about how he had a thorn in his flesh. And it didn't ever specifically say what the thorn in the flesh was, but he had some kind of physical ailment. And he had prayed and prayed for God to heal him of this. And ultimately, in the end, God said, "My grace is sufficient for you." So instead of ever being healed from whatever was bothering Paul, he was provided the grace to deal with it. Okay? And I feel like ultimately that's what my channel is all about here, about hair loss. So many people come here to be saved from their hair loss. And I'm here to say, you may or may not go bald. And you may never go bald, but worry about your whole life. But ultimately, if you can learn to accept it now, and you can learn to deal with it, and to realize that it doesn't have to be a part of your identity being the bald guy. You can be the confident guy, the funny guy, the skilled guy, the helpful guy, the guy that everyone likes, the guy who's happy and content despite not having hair. If you could have that, wouldn't that be better than worrying about hair loss your whole life, even if you never really do go bald? Can you imagine that? See, for me, even now as I'm making this video, I'm thinking, okay, option A, I'm not necessarily balding anytime soon, but if I worried about going bald my whole life, that in itself is not a very enjoyable life. But on the other hand, I could think, okay, I'll be bald in the next 10 years, but as long as I'm content with myself despite that, then I think that would be a better life. I'd rather be bald and happy and content than to always be worrying about balding, even if I don't go bald. And I think a lot of people are in that. They're in the first scenario I mentioned. So if you continue to watch my videos and subscribe to my channel, I think you're going to learn that what I'm going to focus on is the positive, the latter, when I mentioned that whether you go bald or not, you're happy and content with yourself despite your hair loss. But a lot of people can never switch tracks. A lot of people want to remain in that toxic way of thinking, that path to destruction in which they're always going to be consumed by this thing, whether or not it actually happens. Can God save you from your hair loss? Wrong question. Can God allow you to overcome that and to deal with it? Absolutely. And should I be used a vessel to make that happen? I am proud to serve you.